Hello, welcome to the Fencing Referee YouTube channel. My name is Lisa Campy-Sapri, and I can also be found on thefencingref.com. And don't forget to subscribe to this on YouTube. All right, today is something that happens a lot. It is basic troubleshooting day. We're going to take a little scan on this. And it looks like a little bit of a messed up fencing strip because I've got both foil cords and epee cords on it. But really, troubleshooting is about figuring out the problems that are happening. Now, it's a very common thing for foil to have that random off target. Typically, when I get that random off target, I start at the tip. Sometimes I go to see if that tip is seated right inside the barrel. Sometimes the spring gets caught, it's depressed, or it's depressed all the time. No, actually it's very happy. I'm kidding. And sometimes it's a loose barrel, so righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So when you're looking down at the foil, you want to tighten it. This is another common problem for off targets. Now, if you don't have either of those things, I don't want to admit to manufacturers that I take the remote and then I kind of hit down the blade to see if the off-target light goes on. No off-target light. Then I continue to where the grip area is. Sometimes it is the body cord inside and it wiggles a lot. Now this is a very common thing. Now if the wiggling makes the white light happen, I then take the body cord out. Now I have a very magic device right here, otherwise known as the United States quarter. To make sure it's the weapon, if even I have on the wiggle, the off-target light happens, what I do is I put my quarter onto both prongs of the foil body cord. I hold onto it firmly and then I wiggle. If I have no off-target light, then it's probably the weapon. Something's going on with the weapon. If when I depress and I put it back in the socket and I wiggle it and it feels really loose, I have two solutions right here. Spread the prongs or spit the wonder conductor. Okay? Now, one of the little multi-tools that I have, it doesn't have a knife in it. I carry it with me internationally. It's got a small screwdriver, and spreading those prongs, but don't poke yourself in the thumb, spreading those prongs can really alleviate a lot of problems. Now we're going to return back to our foil. So I put it here and I wiggled, and I still have the off-target light happening. What I do now is I go back behind the fencer and I go to the two prongs, the B and the C. Now, how do I remember that? I remember it by saying something that sounds like a very bad novel from the 50s. The fat man stands alone. Because those are the two, the fat prong is the C prong in foil. So I put that back there. If I still have a white light, then it is still something that is behind. In epee land, we're going to sort of work forward. In foil land, we sort of work backwards. So if I put it there and it stops, the white light stops, it's something that's in front. Another common problem is that my opponent, or the guy on the right will say, goes to hit this lame and there is a white light. That's when you have that person depress their tip onto the alligator clip. If it's a white light still, chances are it's the body cord. However, the A line, if you can get them to hit that, just that prong, and there's still a white light, it means the reel or the floor cord is having an issue. Now, if you have white light, white light, white light, one of the most things that gives you the most sanity to find out if it's the floor cord, the fat man stands alone, is you take that quarter and you connect the B and the C, boom, like that or like that. And if the white light stops, it's ahead. If the white light continues, it's the floor cord. Now, I'm going to have you practice the following words. They're very important. Armorer, please, to strip whatever strip you're on. Remember these words, because if you can't figure it out in 3 minutes time and you haven't practiced with your magic device, then you need to keep the tournament going and get an armorer to your strip or a technician to your strip. So you start at the tip, you work your way back. You might need to spread those prongs. Sometimes it's the prongs that need to be spread at where it's attached to the reel, and sometimes it's even the floor cord prongs. Spreading the prongs is a really good solution. Now we're going to wander over to epee land. In epee land, which is this right here, you'll notice that the epee floor cord, or that the floor cord and that the epee cord look very similar. A floor cord is just a big epee body cord. Now, in epee, I have somebody who goes to test on my guard, on this guard, and a light goes on. What that means is that there's either dirt on the guard or that there's an issue with the ground plug. In epee land, the ground plug is that one that's C, the fat man that stands alone. So typically the person unplugs, and I take my epee and I depress it into that prong. If I still have a light, I still have a problem. Then I wander back to the C behind on the reel. If I still have a light, I still have a problem. I'm taking my epee on my side and I'm depressing it just on that tip. If I go to here and I still have a light, I need to go to the floor cord. I depress the floor cord onto that C line. If I still have a light, I still have a problem. This means that probably the floor cord is bad, or that you need to spread the prongs. Another common problem is that the epee doesn't work at all. How do I check that body cord? How do I know that the body cord's working? I take my magic device and I connect the two close prongs together. Now, I can also just take it and touch it to my guard. That's another way to do it. And that will make sure that I know that the cord is working. If I don't have a light in this case, I still have a problem. Making sense so far? So now I'm going to take my magic device and I'm going to touch the two close ones behind the fencer. If I have a light, then it's something that's ahead of where I stopped, where I went. Does that make sense? So light, it's ahead. No light, I still have a problem. I've got to go back. Now I go here, say I have no light. I will now go to the floor cord. If I have a light at the floor cord, the two close ones, then chances are it's a problem with the reel. Now, this is just a plain old quarter, but a pair of shims will work, a penny will work in a pinch, even keys will work in a pinch. You'll see foil folks, they'll take those two prongs and they'll put them on the cord. They'll put them on the guard, I should say. And that's a good way. Or they'll put it on their lame to close it out. You just have to realize that when you're testing, you test things in the way that your brain understands it, and then you'll be able to figure out what's wrong. But what are the magic words? Armor or technician to strip whatever you're at. This, understanding even the most basic things of spreading the prongs in epee and in foil, or understanding how to check behind the fencer to make sure that it's the fencer's equipment, because you don't want to give a card unless it is supposed to be given. All else fails, call the armorer and have your magic device with you. This was basic troubleshooting on my messed up strip, my foil side, and my epee side, and that was it. Less than 10 minutes to troubleshooting. I hope you learned a lot. This might be one that you're going to have to watch a couple times because it is not really easy until you kind of do it a couple times. Hopefully you can find your magic device. It can be any coin, any key, any shims, whatever you've got. And thank you so much for watching the Fencing Referee YouTube channel. I can be found on thefencingref.com, and don't forget to subscribe. This will help you and help your life become so much easier as a referee. Because learning this, then you'll know exactly what to ask for, and you'll also give the right cards. Thanks so much for making your refereeing better.